Alright, good day everybody. Hope you're doing well today. Thought I'd just go over a couple things with Elite Dangerous. The graph right here is all the ships available in-game right now in Elite Dangerous. All of these right here, actually it'd probably be easier to go this way. These ships right here, these four, are locked by reputation. You have to get reputation up with the feds to get that. These three ships are locked down by the Empire. This is the biggest ship you can get without any reputation grind, just earning the money to get it. And there are different things people say on which way they recommend going, on which ships are the best. There's views on that all over the place. Good person to watch is The Pilot on YouTube. It does really nice reviews of all the ships. I'd strongly recommend taking a look at his videos, and he really good reviews on them. And it's safe for work kind of vocabulary, unlike some people that do ship reviews. I enjoy their shows too, but not safe for work. So if you look at that, let's see, this is the Federal Corvette, the Imperial Cutter. So you got the Federal Corvette, 190. Basically, you're looking at pretty much close to half a billion in credits to have it fully geared. The Anaconda is a little cheaper. And then you have the Imperial Cutter, which is more expensive. But boy, it's a beautiful ship right there. I do like that ship a lot. Some of the big things to look at, the Anaconda is one of the ships you can really set up for doing big jumps. You have 470 cargo. Corvette has 618. Cutter's 794. The Cutter gives you the biggest cargo capacity in the game. Next closest is the Type 9 Heavy. But you're looking at the Type 9 Heavy is 23 light year, and the Cutter is 26. The Corvette's 21. Anaconda's 41. So it all depends on what you want and what ships you like the look of and what you're trying to do with it. I have all the Imperial ships. I don't have the feds. I still have to do the rank grind for them. Anaconda, Python, Asp Explorer, Diamondback Explorer. I believe it's the Type 9 I have as just a transport ship. And you know, you kind of pick and choose them. What you need to do is, I brought this one up before. This is Down to Earth Astronomy's website. In the guides, if you want the Empire ships or the Federation ships, he's got things about doing different types of the rank grinds. I'm going to go ahead and just pull up the Fed rank guide, because I think that's what I'm going to work on for a little while today. You're going to want a smaller medium ship with at least 13.7 light year jump range. Just a moment. Okay, back with you. Sorry, I heard somebody pull up outside. Uh, Mainly reason for that is you're going to be doing a lot of stuff in the smaller stations. Is where you're going to be doing these. Uh, you're doing data delivery missions to this one here, and these are the smaller stations where you can only use up to a medium class ship to dock at them. Your large ships can't dock there. You do need the 13.7 light year jump, so you can make it from Perry's Folly and Nochosi to these locations in Chakpa. That's a 13.7 jump, light year jump. So you want to do it in one jump just to speed the process up, because you will be doing it for a while. And you just go back and forth. You go deliver them all here, and you pick up all the delivery missions back to Perry's Folly. Go to Williams Dock, data delivery missions back to Perry's Folly, go back there and do them all. And then you need to look for a certain type of mission. I'm going to go ahead and start the game up, and I'm going to go ahead and start working on these for a little bit. And here's what you get out of these rep grinds. The Federal Dropship, which is this one here. The only reason I would be doing the grind is for the Corvette. I don't really like the stats on any of these other ones. With the Imperials, I do like this little courier. It's a fun little runaround ship. I like the visuals out of the cockpit. Yeah, I might get that ship and move it, get over to it. It's a pretty good distance from where my main account is right now. You get the permit for Sol by getting to the petty officer. So you can actually go back and visit Earth in the game. You can see Earth from space. And these permits are for locked systems. As you see, you have to go all the way up to Rear Admiral to get the Corvette. For the Empire rank, what you get, the courier pretty quick. It doesn't take long all that long. Then you get a system. You get the Clipper, a system, and then that cutter. Overall, I believe it's about the same amount of time, but on this one, you are doing it Hickman Survey and the Nagalan system, and you go back to, and you go over to this area and back. You don't need cargo space for any of these things because data missions do not take cargo. So what we have is we'll be running it in my Diamondback Explorer and just doing a whole bunch of them. And I'll see you all once I bring it up in game and I get into the system we're heading to. Alright, welcome back everybody. I'm slowing down. I'm coming up on Perry's Folly. The reason I'm slowing down is to show you something before we get here. And it's kind of becoming a little bit of an issue, but I'll show you how you can fix it. So, what we have here in this system is, as you can see, a whole lot of fleet carriers. That kind of makes it a little more difficult to find something you're looking for when you're in a system and you're looking for something in particular. So what you can do is set the filters signal sources. We're going to want that. And because we were slowed down, we got interdicted. Nothing's in my cargo. So I could have just sat there for a minute, but this is what you do, is you just keep your throttle in the blue, and that gives you the maneuverability. And the smaller your ship, when more maneuverable, the easier it is. Gets a little interesting when you got a really heavy cargo ship to do that kind of stuff. So we'll go back into here. So now, with those settings I have, this is all that's showing up. Anything else we want? Basically, I'm going to do everything except for the fleet carriers. And now we don't have fleet carriers completely plugging the screen, even though there's a whole lot of them out there. That's how you quickly do that. And if you want to just clear it out to go right back to the way it used to be, just hit the X, and all the fleet carriers will show right back up. And you still have them on this screen, so you can still pull them up really easily at any point in time you might want. I'm just going to let it stay running. A little closer into the planet than I usually like, because that will slow us down. I loop around a little bit if I know I'm going to have a planet, if I'm on the opposite side of the planet, just to keep my speed up. You go down to like 200 kilometers a second if you get going by a planet. And 175 is where we got down to on that one. So it slows you down pretty significantly when you get around a large gravity field. And we're doing this. I have pulled all my weapons off the ship previously just to get my jump range up. And so this is basically the setup I'll have going all the way in. I'll be running around with 40 engines, 2 in systems, but with the weapons off and everything, we're up to over 57 light year jump range, so more than enough. And this is basically pretty close to what I do when I'm going to go out exploring. I do a lot of changes. I still have the wake scanner and other things like that, so I can do some stuff while I'm running around. I made a comment in the last video about the Cobra Mark III at about 10 mil with those thrusters. I was off. It'd be about 14 mil to do it. Pulled up Coriolis, and it showed pretty quickly that, yeah, I built it on Coriolis, and it would be a lot more, and that they don't have the cost of that particular thruster on the list. So we'll go ahead and go universal. Now, if you're doing this and you've already got a pretty good chunk of change, you can actually go in here on the mission boards, and what we're doing is the Federation rep grinds. So we only want stuff from the Federation people, are the only people we'll be pulling missions from primarily. And as you see here, Chakpa, that is where we want to go. It has reputation, and we'll always be selecting reputation unless there's something better here. I'll show you those here in a second if I see any. Modular terminals. There are some to open up a certain engineer. I don't remember which one it is. I believe it's modular terminals you need. And that's the only way you can get the modular terminals is by these mission rewards. You can do source returns, but that takes cargo. And all we're doing is reports. These right here. Hostile ships might be sent up against us, so you can always keep that in mind. But if you have a lot of credits, you can donate money to the cause. That will increase your rep, every one of those. So it's going to take 200,000 credits. And we can immediately turn it in. And we just got a rep upgrade. That is what we just got. And that's just a, simple reputation bonus. Not the right system. Now, I'm trying to remember if this is the one. When I've done this in the past, there is another system fairly close by, and I think it's this one that has a lot of, or it might be this one here. I know there's another system close by, but you've got them here too. So you can make a little bit bigger loop and do a lot more in between, but you don't get, for just pure speed, you really can't beat the one we're going to be doing. And as we go up in reputation, we don't have the requirements yet for some of these. Once our reputation goes up, we'll get more and more. And our reputation after like one loop, we'll start getting into a lot more of these. So we go into here, and what I generally do just to make things easy, I bookmark Perry's Folly, and from Perry's Folly what we're going to is Chakpa. I don't have the data for there yet. That's why they said 13.7 light years, so you can make that jump. So we've got that. We'll go ahead and launch. We will probably be interdicted several times. If you have a combat ship, a lot of times the interdictions will, if you're interdicted, you get a bonus for taking things out. So it's something to think about if you want to do a little combat. I'm not worried about it too much. I'm still showing mostly harmless, but I've got at least one of the engineers you need to unlock with combat done. I might go and do a bunch more. When I was doing that, I was collecting a lot of materials off the blown up ships for engineering also. And since I don't have Chakpa on my scanned and mapped out yet, I will be honking the system the first time in here. Later down the road, when I'm not running missions where I could get interdicted and things like that. Okay, we got time bonuses. Chargap installation, 13 minutes. Chargap installation. Okay, so let's go ahead and do Chargap first. And when I do these, I generally will run it with me doing the flying. It gives you a little bit more speed than if you were doing the cruise assist. It's a noticeable difference in speed. Once you get up to about 6-7 seconds, you drop it down to 70% throttle or thereabouts. And if you're doing mouse and keyboard, it is not hard. There is a keybind you can set up that will do that for you in the options. Well, I'm going to name them off again. Down to Earth Astronomy has a real good video about how to set your keybinds up and what's the better way to do it. I'm using a HOTAS, so I just go just above my 50% mark on my HOTAS, and it's good to go. A little over half throttle, and I drop right down to 7-8 second things, and we're going through a little gravity well here, slowing down. Like I said before, I'm a little closer to the planet than I usually like to get, so our speed is dropping. Now you can go and look at everyone else on the mission board and see if anyone else has those kind of setups. Oh, well, that's sure nice. Now we got 2 minutes for one of these. Delivery bonus. If we get in 2 minutes, we get 5,000 extra credits. Now you speed up, of course, if you do the landing yourself and you're good at it, you'll go quicker. I generally don't fuel when I'm doing any of these, because if you got a fuel scoop, you're constantly scooping as you go into these systems. So it's real quickly, you don't have to worry about any of it. You just get your fuel back and forth. Now,
incoming mission critical message.
okay. Why we don't have any more is purely because we're only cordial with the faction here so far, so we won't have any options for missions yet. But that will change fairly quickly. What you can do to help that along a lot of times is if the system has ooh, we got a lot of pirate activity going on right now. You could do those, but a high res. Oh, we didn't have all that many missions over here. So we're going to go back to the other facility, but let's see what Williams Point has on it. Okay, it's in a state of lockdown right now because of the pirate activity. And I do believe that might completely take us out of being able to do the Federation right now. Because Chakpa's in a lockdown. That's going to be a pain in the butt. But it's not all over. If that is what's going on, I'll do one more complete loop. It would help if I had selected the system we're running to. We'll head out over here. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and I'll make another loop and see if we are actually able to get any missions with them on the lockdown situation. If we can't, I'll switch over and do a bunch with the Empire, just so you guys could see a little bit more about what's going on. Alright, I'm coming back in here. It's still on lockdown. It's still locked down, but the HIP 67086 and 67882, I picked up a whole lot of missions going there also. So I'm just going to do a full loop with the jump range I've got on this ship. I believe I'll be able to go to each and every one of those systems in single jumps around. So
Incoming message.
and it's still not opened up. Yeah, they're in a civil unrest right now and the famine going on. So I think we're not going to be able to be doing a whole lot. So I'm going to bypass Chakpa on any of the other ones. And if you look at the mission board, yeah, something's going on here. So we're going to bypass these guys from now on. And let's see what, if any of these, this one shows up. So we'll go there first. And like I said before, I'm not going to bother about fuel. Okay, I'm now a peddler in the trade. So I've gone up
Ship released. Engines engaged.
in my trade rank. So we're getting trade a little bit as we're running too. Before we're done with this, we will be going up a rank with the Federation. And I'll probably end up pausing again if stuff doesn't show up on this loop. It could take 2 to 3 times the time of the video for me to get it uploaded. So, and I'm not doing any editing on them. It's just purely that's how much time my bandwidth takes to get a video posted to YouTube. So I'm trying to keep them fairly short. We'll see what this one looks like. Coming up on 30 minutes right now.
Mission critical message.
And I'll go ahead and scan downwards.
Fuel
I'm going to lock this one up first. Okay. I'll go through the rest of those here in a minute. Where is this one at? Oh, it's going to be one of those lovely ones. Okay, we got plenty of time here. So what else do we have? Delivery bonus. Okay. The other one's a lot closer. So I think what I'm going to do Nah, they're both over here in the same general area. So we'll stay on this guy. And I'll show you the Super Cruise difference. So we're at 19, 20, 21. Deactivate Super Cruise and see how much faster we're going. It's still building. So that's why I generally hand fly to these kind of locations, is you go a lot quicker when you're doing it yourself. Okay, still the same thing. Got plenty of time. Whole lot of time on this one, so we're not going to worry too much. But I'll get it out here, and not that one. Okay, yep. We're going in the right general direction, so it's not going to be too bad. But the 67882 system is definitely a long run-in to get to the stations that they do the mission at. So I'm going to dock that. In my notes, and then when we get to 67086, which is our other one, these here, and if you read the messages, we're not all that far out for these. So when we get here, I'll pull it up on the missions board so you can see what I'm talking about on what to look for. I didn't do it on these, I just grabbed them real quick like. But there is a way to look and see if you're going to have to do a long run to get to where you got to go. $83. Yeah, I think we'll be at over 100 when we turn these in. Don't worry about it. It continues to build up rep. Even if you're maxed at 100 and you don't do the missions to rank up, it just keeps building up, and you can do multiple missions back to back for your rank. I've done it where I had enough built up, I did like 3 or 4 rank missions in a row without running out of reputation. Mainly because I was doing the same thing. I didn't want to go and do wet work type of missions, going out finding a ship, blowing it up, because I was in a ship like this one. I didn't have the weapons or loadout to do it. Planet Scans and some other ones, they're good ways to do it, but if I'm doing these data courier missions, looping all over the place, I prefer to get that kind of mission to get my rank, purely because generally they're in the same kind of 3, 4, 5 system loop is where you're going to be running for those missions. So you just keep doing your loops with the data missions, and one of those will be a rank mission. So you rank up. So that's the way I usually do it. It is nice to kill the monotony with a different type of mission from time to time, but usually what I do when I'm doing these kind of things is the last time I did it, I was a lot further along. When I started to do the rep grinds, I already had mining ships and other things, and I just went out and I would do this for an hour or two, and then I'd go jump in my mining ship and mine for an hour or two, and that was my gameplay for the day. I am seriously looking at doing a long exploration run to build a mining ship, set up a somewhat okay mining ship to be able to make some credits, because I feel real weak right now at 6.5 million credits. I'm kind of limited on what I can do with just one ship and the 6 million credits. So I'm very tempted to go and make a very inexpensive mining ship to go out and get 30-40 million worth of mining credits done. Actually, I'll probably go up even more. I'll get it up to the point where I have a halfway decent mining ship size-wise and equipment-wise, just to pad the pocketbook on this account. Just for the ease of the game. But at the same time, that's what my main account's for, is to do whatever I want with it. This is more about, I was going to plan on more exploration and stuff geared on this one, and to show stuff like opening up the engineers and rep grind things and all that other good stuff. Delivery bonus, 48 minutes to the other terminal, so that shouldn't be an issue. And we'll get some more information when we leave the next when we go back to head back to Ochozi. We'll have a really good idea. I'll be able to show you something. Actually, into the next system, I'll be able to show you. What are we looking at here? Okay, they're not that bad off. Complete the mission. Get some credit. And we only had one mission to this one. Okay. So planetary scan job. This right here means it's a chain of quests. So illegal and all this other stuff, I'm really not interested in doing those. This one here is the Alliance kind of a mission. You can tell by the emblems here whose faction it is. No more data missions there. No one else we're looking at. So exit that one. We'll head to the Porsche, and then when we jump over to 67086, after we stop at this next port, we'll have a good idea of what we're coming up on. away from the planet line a little bit, just for the time bonus. Keep the speed up is what I'm working at. That's why I'm turned away a little bit. And we got plenty of time on this one also. And I'll show you what I should have noticed on the first time around. A couple things I should have seen when we were going and got the missions and jumped over to Chocpaw. With only one mission done there, we went up 6%. As you rank up, the missions pay off a little bit less every time. They give you the same amount of reputation, it just takes more at each level to go up, so therefore that instead of getting 6% on these first ones, you're getting 2-3% up towards the Corvette. As you get up closer to the Admiral ranking. Oh yeah. Now, what I could be doing is doing surface scans and stuff on these planets, but since I do have the missions in my bank for the other places, I don't want to do that because I do have people that might be targeting me. So to do surface scans and stuff, not the best idea. While you have missions in your log, you're more likely to get jumped. Since the fleet carrier update, they have come out with, a bunch of people have come out with more and more mining areas. Unfortunately, by the looks of it, they're great mining areas, but they're further out from the bubble. So it's going to take a little bit more movement to get things in and out. But we'll see. I see what my thoughts are on it here shortly. Like I've said before, I might go and just make a quick mining ship to get myself up to 20-30 million real quick, or I should say 20-30 million after I have a mining ship that I like. And that would be, I think I might make a Python up. So that's over 100 million right there. Okay, yeah, we're looking at the Python. Yeah, 60 million for the ship. You would be looking at pretty close to that. So, mission board. Okay, back to Chakpa. So we'll be doing this. And what I was talking about on looking, if you scroll down, it tells you how far out from your arrival point your destination is. So if I had looked at that, I probably wouldn't have taken these out to this system, just because the distance involved. But we're going to take this. We're going to take this. These are planetary landings, so I'm not going to worry about that. Complete the... And if you're wondering what it's showing, basically this screen that comes up just basically goes through your reps and things like that you gained for doing it. And you can do it a lot quicker if you have the credits by doing these kind of donate missions. But we're this account doesn't have the credits for that.
Incoming message.
Donates, nope. Not the right kind of missions. I don't want the planetary scan job. I'm not really looking forward to those. Okay, so we're done here. And those missions. I'm now a dealer in the trade. So as we're doing this, we are ranking up in our trade ranks. That's a reputation grind change. I'm not worried about that. So as you see, under the Federation, our rank is none, and we're at 100%. So that's not going to give us all that much yet. We've got Chakpa, but we don't want to go to Chakpa yet. We are wanting to hit HIP 67086 over here. They're in a state of blight, so this system's not going to be very good either. We'll go ahead and run over to there, and I give us an idea. And the other way you can do that is if you open up your report. That's the Chakpa. That's the Chakpa. Okay, 67086. You can actually open the galaxy map there also. So that's another way you can go and find the system you need to get to, that you're needing to go to next, is by going through your missions list and pulling them up. And you can do that by the amount of time left for those missions. Volinov base and Allen survey. So we've got two different bases I'll have to hit in that system. And what I was talking about is, as we get out of this area, now on the top right of the screen under the info, you'll see the system you're going to. But right under my cursor up front, or above it, low security and we're clean. So the system we're going to is low security. It'll tell you if it's hostile, and sometimes you'll get stuff like condition of the system. Just underneath the info, it said blight reported. Just before it faded out, I caught that. So You do get some information as you're making your jumps on what the system status is you're jumping into. So what I'm going to do is, you got to pull these up pretty quick. 22 minutes on that one, 4 minutes on this one, and that's the Allen survey. So I'm going to go up here and select the Allen survey because that's the one we need to get to the fastest, and I don't think it's going to be possible to get there in 4 minutes. Oh, yeah, it will be. It's pretty close. That's why you always pull those missions messages up. It'd also help if I was actually paying attention. You pull those mission statements up because you could have something like that where it's a tight delivery window. And if you went to the wrong station first, you'll lose out on the bonuses. And bonuses are nice. At least in my opinion. And a lot of times you have to look at it, because if you have a whole bunch of them and they're two different systems and everyone's giving it to you, you look at, which ones you'll make the most money on. You got to make decisions fairly quick. It might be more beneficial to say, oh, well, I'm not going to hit that one first. I'm going to go out to this one first because I'm going to miss the bonus on at least one group of these. Hit the wrong button. And let's see, where is it I'm going? I'm not seeing landing pad there. So I'll angle it up. There it is. That's probably where I'm going. If this one doesn't have the right one when I go back to Chosi, I'll pause it if it doesn't have the right one here. I'll go back to Perry's Folly, and I'll show you the kind of mission you're looking for your ranking up. Complete the mission, reputation. Right here, Federal Navy requires 20 units. That right there is a rank mission. So we don't have the minimum reputation yet, so we wouldn't be able to get it anyways. But if you're wanting to get it, if you go here and donate, let's see how close that gets us. That got us what we needed to be able to get this mission, which we weren't going to do anyways, but there are times you're able to do that to get around some of those issues. Now Regina looks like it's got a lot of stuff in here. So same with Toluku. You might end up having to go and look at some other areas when something like this happens and your main place you want to go is in lockdown and things like that. But I'm going to go ahead and do a quick pause and we'll see if something else pops up. It's getting a little long on the video. Alright. It's looking like it's going to be a long drawn out thing for this, because the best loop isn't there right now. So what I'm looking at doing is I'm just going to get up to the Federal dropship. I've got enough for recruit. I'm possibly halfway through recruit right now. The Federal dropship will give me 166 tons of cargo. Problem is, it's 14 million credits to purchase it. Equip it, we're looking at close to 30 million credits. And I'm all of 7 million credits right now. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up off camera, getting the rep high enough for that. And I'll see what we might be able to do along those lines. The max I think I can get on the Diamondback Explorer, I think I can get enough I can get enough stuff on here to be able to get 10 tons, give or take, worth. Oh, well, that's nice. They only have the real tiny cargo racks and fuel scoops at this facility, at least. I do believe I'll be able to get enough stuff on this that 30-45 minutes of mining, maybe a couple trips worth, I'll be able to get the drop ship, and I'll rig it up for mining, and that'll give me a pretty good cushion on credits. Yeah, I can get enough stuff on here to be able to do it. Just get this thing, mine it, get the credits up to about 40-50 mil with this ship, get the drop ship, get a couple 100 mil on that, and I think that's about where, once I get the drop ship geared for mining, I think that's where I'll start my next videos, getting that ship and setting it up. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this one here, and I'll see you all next time around. Bye.